Hey, it's Jake Kinder here, and I'm really excited that you're interested in understanding how revenue share works here at EXP. And I'm going to share with you a little bit about our group that we've grown here, Honey Badger Nation, at EXP, and really understand why this opportunity even exists, how big the actual opportunity is. And I can tell you right now, you're definitely not too late. But first, I have to give you a disclaimer. These figures are not a guarantee, representation, or projection of earnings or profits you can or should expect. They also do not include expenses incurred by agents in operating their businesses. eXp Realty makes no guarantee of financial success. Success with eXp Realty results only from successful sales efforts, which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Your success will depend upon how well you exercise these qualities. That being said, now let me show you what the opportunity is. So I want to show you how to leverage our systems that we've built to attract 1,000 agents for yourself to EXP. Now you might be thinking, man, I don't really want to be a recruiter. It's not what I'm interested in. I just want to go sell more houses. But I promise you, if you understand what I'm about to share with you, there's no doubt that you're going to want to do this. It's very, very easy. It's not a difficult thing to be able to do. And you get to change people's lives in the process, which is what I love about it. So, and the goal is for you to be able to do this without ever having to talk to someone that doesn't want to talk to you first, answering all their hard questions about why they should join, or even having to recruit. You really want to just feel like you're actually just helping people grow their business. So, introduction, I think you guys know me, probably watched a few videos, but if you haven't, I've been in the business 28 years. I was formerly the #2 agent in the world for Coldwell Banker, used to sell 500 plus homes a year. Built an organization here at EXP that has over 13,000 agents over the last 7 years, one of the largest organizations in the company. And I did it with what I'm going to show you here shortly, and helped over 220 agents in our network make 6 figures or more in revenue share. So if you'd like to make passive income, which I know you do, everybody should want to make passive income. We have a track record of helping people do that here at EXP. You guys know probably if you watch any of my other videos, this is my family. I've lived in Puerto Rico the last 4 years. Thanks to EXP's business model, I've been able to basically do pretty much whatever I want, whenever I want with my own time. Living on the beach has been great. We've benefited from moving our company there and being under, actually live in the neighborhood with Jake Paul and Logan Paul and some other very, very wealthy people, but been able to live the best life I've ever lived. And I've worked really, really hard my entire life, but nothing compares to the opportunity that we have here at EXP. And that's really what created that for me. It allowed me to literally decide what I want to do with my time, spend it where I want, doing whatever I want with whoever I want. And I want that for you too. So I'm going to share with you a little bit here. I can't show you, I can tell you, I can let you do the math, but I can't show you the actual revenue share. I can show you individually, but we don't want to put this out there publicly just for liability's sake. So I've been at the company now 7 years. So, think about this as time on task. I've been doing it 7 years. I've got a whopping 77 agents that I've personally recruited to the company. Now that doesn't count agents that may have come and gone, no different than anyone else. I've recruited agents that quit the business, got out of the business, or left and went to another company. It happens. So 77 agents that are here currently. I would say it's probably 150, 160 agents. And if you break that down to a month, I might have recruited maybe 2 to 3 agents a month on average. So we're not talking about a whole lot of agents here. In fact, if I'd have been hired as a recruiter, I probably would have been fired because I didn't recruit that many agents. But I want you to understand how the model works and how powerful it is. So of that, frontline qualifying agents, I've got 43. Now at EXP, this is super huge. Your first 3 levels are automatically unlocked. So you're automatically going to get paid on every level, but then you have to unlock these levels by recruiting frontline qualifying agents. Frontline qualifying agents just means that they did 2 transactions or 5,000 in GCI in the last 6 months. So it's not a tremendous amount of work they have to do. They basically have to have a pulse and have done something in real estate. So as you unlock these other levels, these are huge, huge, huge opportunities. And we're seeing now a ton of companies coming out trying to copycat what we've done. And it's kind of like trying to compete with Uber or trying to compete with Netflix or trying to compete with Amazon. It's very difficult to compete with the #1 category killer in the space because we can do pretty much anything. If we see something better, we can always adopt it into our own model. So don't be fooled by a lot of the copycat companies that are out there making all these promises. They're going to be the next EXP because they're not. Okay, let's just be honest. It's probably unlikely that they're going to be able to duplicate the things that we've been able to do here and in the last, or since 2009, since Glenn founded the company. And so just be aware of that. So I have now in my organization, and this is what I want you to understand. This is what I did. Okay. This is called leverage. It's called multiplication. It's called geometric growth. This is what I did. These people told these people who 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 told these people. So that's that is how this grows. People, agents who tell other agents who tell, the only way you can join the company is if you're sponsored by someone. So, and I'm going to explain to you why that is, because I don't think most people understand, well, why in the world are agents out recruiting now? Why are you trying to recruit agents to your company? What is that all about? I get all these calls from agents trying to recruit me all the time. And by the way, don't be annoyed by that. If somebody's trying to recruit you, it means that if you get recruited in any other, you get recruited in in the NFL or in the NBA, it's a good thing. Somebody wants you, right? So don't look at it as a bad thing. But sometimes agents are very annoying in the way they do that and their approach. I'm going to show you how we don't do it that way, so you don't ever have to bother someone like you've been bothered if you have before. So this is level 1, level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're the only company that has 7 generations that I'm aware of. That you can get paid 7 levels on, but it's super important to understand 34.5%. Now, again, over time, as this thing grows, this is my biggest level. The 2 biggest levels are level 6 and level 7. Super important when you're looking at these models. The opportunity is really in the depth of these models. And so, as you understand, over time, people who tell people who tell people, this is a word of mouth growth company. This company grows by word of mouth. Agents who tell other agents. If they love it, they go tell other agents, and they go tell other agents, so on and so forth. And so that's basically what's happened for me, basically, since I've been here 7 years. It's grown. Most of the work that I did, I'm not saying I didn't do anything else, but I certainly helped put systems in place to help these agents attract more agents to the company, and systems that I'm going to show you and give you access to as well. But for the most part, this is leverage. It's not my time being spent and this revenue that's coming in from this. So I'm just going to give you an idea, since I can't show you the actual math on here. So what I use as the base number for what we make on average. This is a super low. I like to do my numbers like super low. I'd rather be above what it is than try to give you some crazy number that it's not going to be, right? So just use on average. Let's say you only make $450 per year per agent, and there's a lot of reasons why that might be. You get paid off of what they pay into the company. So whatever you're paying into your cap, you get a little percentage of that. It's a little bit different on each of these levels based upon that. But you could have agents that are on a team or on a mega icon team, and they're a quarter cap, and there's all these different things that you could factor into this. Some agents aren't going to be full cappers, so they're only going to be half cappers. And so all of that, if you factor it all in and over time, so the low number that I use is $450 a year per agent. Okay, so that's what it is for me. So I'll let you do the math on that. Let's say 8,000 agents times $450 annually. That's what I made this year. That's what I made about that last year as well. And so that's a little over $3.6 million in revenue share. Okay. I don't have to go sell a house. I don't have to do anything for that opportunity. It's just something you have an opportunity to go build here at EXP. We love to help people do this, by the way. So I want to share with you, why are all these new companies offering revenue share? Why are agents out here recruiting other agents? And I want to explain just how things get disrupted. So disruption in the real estate brokerage side of things is what this is. Okay, so Blockbuster was disrupted by Netflix. We all understand that. We would never go back to Blockbuster and rent our movies and bring them home and watch them, because we can stream it on Netflix. We're probably never going to go back to riding in a taxi cab if we can keep from it. It's way more efficient and easy to use Uber than it is to get in a taxi cab. Same thing with Amazon. I know my wife is never going to go back to, I mean, she's shopping right now. I take that back. So she still goes shopping, but I promise you, like, she has more stuff shipped to the house by Amazon, and then ships back what she doesn't want, but more than she goes to the store nowadays. And so these are super disruptive models. All that is cloud-based companies disrupting the physical space models that have been the legacy models that are around. And so EXP has done the same thing, where we have real estate brokerages and that have franchise models all around the country, and they have offices everywhere. EXP is a cloud-based brokerage, so you can recruit agents anywhere in the country. And so, for instance, this is the legacy old school model. Every real estate company that starts today is going to have revenue share for agents and is going to have stock for agents. Why? Because of EXP Realty. The growth that we've had, one of the fastest growing companies in the history of real estate, just an enormous attracting the top agents all around the country. Super efficient and very profitable as a company, whereas many brokerages are not. But the limitations in the franchise territory. So you imagine, you're looking at any of these old legacy companies. It could be Coldwell Banker, ERA, Century 21, Keller Williams, any of these types of companies. They had a franchise model. So how those franchise models worked was somebody bought that territory. generally the broker of that office, the broker owner of that office. You might know if you were at one of these offices. My dad owned a Coldwell Banker franchise, for instance. He bought that, franchise, and then his opportunity was for him to recruit agents into that office, and that was the opportunity. Now he couldn't go into Oklahoma City. I lived in Lawton, Oklahoma, so he couldn't go to Oklahoma City and recruit agents, to his brokerage in Lawton, Oklahoma. He couldn't do that because that wasn't his territory. He was only allowed to recruit around that physical office location. And so it's a limited opportunity. The franchise territory and by the way, agents, I didn't recruit anybody to my dad's brokerage. Why? Because I didn't get paid anything to do it. He was the only one that would benefit if somebody had come to his office. And so, yeah, I might get a Starbucks gift card, or something along those lines if I recruited someone or helped them recruit someone. But I certainly wasn't thinking about it as an opportunity, because the person that benefits is whoever bought that franchise. So when you look at the cloud-based brokers, this is a completely different and unlimited opportunity. Nobody owns a territory. Nobody owns a particular area that they can recruit in, because there is no physical office locations. You can't buy a territory. There is no regional ownership. There is no franchise ownership. And so the challenge with this model is, well, how are we going to grow the company if nobody has bought a franchise with the intention of trying to, recruit agents to that office? And so what Glenn Sanford did, which was brilliant, he said, we're going to make the opportunity so big that the right people are going to join this company and they're going to help us grow it. And that was a brilliant idea, because when I looked at this model, and I can get into the numbers with you, I'm not going to do it here on this little presentation because this is just kind of a short introduction. I just want to introduce you to the opportunity and make you aware of it. When I looked at EXP, I was like, yeah, but I had this big vision. I'm building my brand and my company. And we had a vision of 2,000 agents by December 24th, 27th, 2024, which we're coming up close on here. That was my vision, 2,000 agents across the country in this brand that we were building. And then I looked at EXP's model and I was like, man, I could literally be in any state. I could recruit agents anywhere in the world now. We're in 25, 26 countries now. And I don't have to go start all these companies in these different states. I literally could use this platform of EXP and do the same thing I was trying to do and just be powered by or brokered by EXP as a platform. And I was like, once I got my ego out of the way. So if you own an independent brokerage or a franchise or any of those types of things, or if you have this big vision for what you're wanting to build, I had to move my ego out of the way. My ego was the first thing that was in the way. I was like, I can go build this. I don't need to join this thing. I can do it myself. And then I did the math, actually, is what happened. I did the math and I said, okay, well, we build this off. This thing's worth, it's 2,000 agents. And we did that average production based on our model and what we expected to do. And then I did I went to Steve Murray, who's at Real Trends, who does most of the big real estate transactions. And I realized that 2.5 to 3 times, 1.5 to 3 times EBITDA is about what that might sell for, right? And so, when I did that math, I was like, man, this model might be better. It might be better. It might be more profitable. I might have less employees. I knew I'd have less employees. I don't have very many employees, by the way. That revenue share that I make is probably 95% margin. There's not much expense as it relates to this business unit and your business, whether you're an individual agent and you're just adding passive income. We want to get you to paying your electric bill, then paying your car payment, then paying your car electric and your house payment, then paying your lake house, then paying for, it's getting to a place where you're winning in the cash flow game, where you got enough passive income coming in every month. You don't have to sell a house if you don't want to. Your bills are paid, and you can do that through EXP's model. And so, super important to kind of understand that we're being compensated just to help this company grow, because there is nobody that bought a franchise that's out there recruiting agents. So now any agent can recruit another agent or attract another agent to EXP, and they can get compensated for that every time they close a transaction until they cap. So, and to put this in perspective, the last 3 years, EXP, and we pay out at EXP 50% of all the money that comes in to EXP goes into revenue share and paid out to the agents, and then 50% goes to run the company. So in the last 3 years, EXP's paid out close to, and I say close to because it's a little bit before the end of the year, and I'm not sure exactly what the number is going to be this year, but I know it's going to be close to 600 million in revenue share to its agents just in the last 3 years. And I know that because it was over 200 million in 2022 and 2023. It was 197 million. And so it's probably going to be real close to that. It was a little bit of a down year this year, but so was last year. So it's probably really close to 600 million. $600 million being paid out to the agents on top of their commissions, on top of everything else, just because you told someone about EXP and they joined. And to give you an idea of how this grows, my first 3 years at EXP, the total amount of revenue share I made was $3,478,040. My fourth year was $4,786,726. That is a crazy, crazy number, but that's how this compounds. It multiplies and compounds, just like the eighth wonder of the world is compound interest. I think it might actually be the compounding of revenue share that might be that real eighth wonder of the world. So I'm just going to put this in perspective using the math that we talked about already. An agent count, if you had 50 agents that you personally recruited to the company, an annual revenue share, that's 22,500. Again, I'm using the lowest number that you could possibly imagine. And I have a lot of teams and mega icon teams and agents that are under, that are not on a full cap. So I'm using like really low numbers compared to what our model actually shows that gets paid out. But that would be $1,875 a month. Okay. Right. So that's just 50 agents. And that could be, 5 people you brought, who brought 3, who brought 10. Could be any number of ways that you could get to that number. So for each one of these, so let's look at 500 would be $18,000 a month. And I can tell you this, if you can get to 50 agents, and I think I have a slide for this, I'll show you here in a minute, but if you can get to 50 agents, you can get to 500 agents. If you can get to 500 agents, you can get to 5,000 agents. It is absolutely 100% true. So again, 5,000 agents, that's $187,500 a month. If you could imagine what that would be like, I can tell you, I know what it's like. It's life-changing when you start making this kind of money. It comes in every single month. You have new problems, which is like, where do I put this money? And so crazy opportunity. And the reason I'm showing you this, and it might sound like it's so far-fetched and it's so impossible for you to even imagine, how could I possibly do this? Well, first of all, we're going to help you do it. Like if I help you win and I help you attract agents, I win too. So I'm going to help you with all of this. Trust me on that we have systems, processes, tools. If you watch the video on our how we help agents, you leverage my team in order to grow your real estate business on the production side. If you watch that video, that's what we use for you to attract agents to EXP, right? I'm going to invest in helping your agents that you bring over to EXP and helping them be successful. And in doing that, help them do that as well. Help them tell their friends and so on and so forth, because the compensation is so huge on the back end for me that it doesn't make any sense for me to do anything other than make it easier and easier and easier for everyone to attract agents to EXP, here specifically to our group here, Honey Badger Nation. So again, crazy numbers, right? So again, understanding exponential growth, the way this works, like if everyone in your organization only recruited 1 person a month, this is what it would compound like. But if everyone did 2, this is how big the math gets, right? So the way it compounds is by the more we can make this duplicatable, easy for someone to attract an agent, make it a great experience, make them never want to leave, and keep growing this thing. The compounding of this is really massive, and it's really unbelievable to kind of see it grow. I promise you, it's mind blowing. So I want you to kind of understand this too. When I did the math, this was part of the math that I did when I was trying to understand whether I wanted to join EXP or I wanted to go out and build my own brokerage and whatnot. And so if you have monthly revenue share at, let's just say, $10,000 a month, I think anybody in the world can get to $10,000 a month in revenue share. That is $2,400,000 that you would have to have made after taxes, invested safely at 5%. In order to make $10,000 a month. I want you to understand what I'm saying. You would have to think about how much money you make now, whatever your income is after taxes. After you paid all your bills, all of your expenses, you're going to need to save $2.4 million. How many years would it take you to do that? And invest it safely at 5% to be able to make $10,000 a month in passive income. That's a lot of money to make. You're going to have to make it could take years and years and years. And I can tell you, I used to make a lot of money selling real estate, but it would take most agents most of their career to be able to generate that kind of opportunity. So again, if you get to 50,000 or 100,000 or 200,000, obviously mine's more than that. I think my best month was $422,977.69. And I show this because I would literally have to have sold a company at some point. There's no amount of income I could have probably made and saved $101 million. Okay. After taxes, after all expenses. So I would have had to build a company, sold that company, exited that, and been left with $100 million invested safely, just to be able to make the $422,000 a month, right? So crazy opportunity here, that's unlike anything else. If you're not getting passive income through some source, if you've tried, let's say you're buying, you're either flipping houses, that's not cash flow. That's, that you're just making extra money if you're doing that. If you're trying to get it, win in the cash flow game, meaning I want my expenses to be paid for by checks that come in that I didn't have that I have to go trade my time for. That's the game we all want to, play in order to retire. Then there's nothing that compares on this planet, and I mean that, like, on this planet, that compares to what revenue share can do, as compared to what you would have to save after taxes, after expenses, to be able to create that same type of passive income. And so it is that big of an opportunity. And I'm telling you this, I don't know how interested you are or not in this, but I promise you, if you're interested, I'm interested in helping you. Okay, so we're going to win here together. That's how it works. But again, crazy opportunity. I'm not the only one that's doing well. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other agents, people making more money than me here at EXP. These other models just don't have the kind of compensation model as this, and it's not the same. And so if you're coming for opportunity, you definitely want to be here at EXP, and you definitely want to be with us. So I said this earlier, I knew I had a slide for it, but I forgot where it was exactly. But if you can get to 50, and I know this to be true, if you can get to 50, then you can get to 500. If you can get to 500, you can get to 5,000. And that's the kind of opportunity that you're looking at. Now, again, if you just want to go sell real estate and you never recruit someone ever to the company ever, that's great. I can help you sell more real estate. I'll help you sell as much real estate as you want. But I promise you, at some point, you're going to be like, man, I really wish I had started working on this opportunity on the revenue share. And just like anything else in life, skills can be learned. So I can teach you how to call an expired. I can teach you how to call a FSBO. I can teach you how to convert just about any prospect over the phone. You get paid once. But with revenue share, you get paid forever, as long as that agent's at the company. And so I would much rather teach you something that's going to pay you forever than just teach you the skill to go feed yourself and you have to start over every single month. So real quickly, just going to go through a couple key points here. The number one key to success in agent attraction is committing 100% to the process that we're going to teach you. One of the principles is, if it doesn't duplicate, it doesn't matter. So what I find most people do when they come over, first of all, they're like, that sounds great, man. How are we going to do this? I don't even know where to start, right? It's kind of like when you get into real estate, you don't know what you're going to do. How are you going to attract agents to a company? I don't even know where to begin. But if it doesn't duplicate, it doesn't matter. So we have a process, we have a system. If you stick to the system, it's duplicatable. Anybody can do it. But if it doesn't duplicate, then your group doesn't grow. So just because, let's say you're really great on the phone, or let's say you say, I'll just go put billboards up all over town, or but that doesn't duplicate. Your group can't go out and do the same things that you can do. If they can't do it as well, if they're not following a process that they can, if you're not following a process that they can follow, then your group doesn't grow. You might attract a ton of agents. And I use it's an example of this. If you have a huge following on social media, you have a huge opportunity to leverage that, by the way. But if you have a big following and that's how you attract all the agents to EXP, then those agents that are underneath you are not going to be able to follow that same system, because they may not have a following on social media, if that makes sense, right? So we have to follow a system and a process, and we teach them. We built a training. We have all the systems, all the tech, everything to make this stupid simple and make a much better offer, which is the offer that you saw in the video probably before watching this one. So it all starts with the offer, leveraging our $50,000 a month marketing and implementation team to double your business in the next 12 months. That's the same video that you got introduced to as well. So not only, did you get attracted to the company the same way that you're going to attract other people to the company. Does that make sense? That is called duplication. So there's a difference between attracting and recruiting, finding out what someone's goals are, getting them on a call with one of the leaders that are in your group, somebody that's in your, considered to be in your revenue share group, in your upline, if you will, somebody that's above you in your group. And then let us do all the work. Your goal is not to ever talk about EXP or try to solve all their problems. Your goal is to get them to consume that video and then get them on a call with one of us and let us help you, us connect the dots for how this is going to be better for them and how we're going to help solve their goals as it relates to what they want to do with growing their business. So once that happens, you're going to make a list of every real estate agent in your sphere of influence, agents that you think are ambitious, sharp as a tack. Make at least a list of 100 agents. Make a list of the affiliates that you know, mortgage, title, any affiliate that you have in the industry, of people they might know. Your list is your gold mine, and it's always growing. So you're always going to be having a list of people that you're going to and inviting to take a look at this opportunity. No different than how you've looked at it here as well. So we're even going to coach you through the process. So we do 4 one-on-one coaching sessions to get you dialed in on exactly what to do. So if you decide to join EXP and you come over, we're going to coach you one-on-one. We're going to get you dialed in on the system and the process and where to invite people to, what is the content we're sending them, how are we doing it, how are we tracking it, all that. You have access to all the leaders in your revenue share group for three-way calls, their calendar, so you can schedule these calls so you don't ever have to sell. The biggest mistake people make in agent attraction is they try to sell people. That's not the goal. Your goal is to never sell and to only leverage someone else to help you with that. So we're going to help you get them over. We're going to help you convert them and get them to come over to EXP. And then our team is going to help them grow their business. We're going to actually add value to them. We're going to actually make a promise and then deliver that promise to help them grow their business. And that way they can go tell their friends as well, right? And you get paid when they close deals forever. So pretty awesome. And then you get access to weekly agent attraction coaching calls and masterminds and all kinds of things where we're helping agents. And again, it's like you don't make a hit list, you make a help list. Who do you want to help today? Whose life can you change? That's this opportunity at EXP. And I wanted to really kind of explain how we're going to do that and how we're going to help you do it as well. We can, like I said, we can help you sell more homes. We have a proven track record of helping people sell more real estate. So if that's all you're interested in, that's cool. We're going to help you do that. Don't worry about it. We're not going to bug you about, did you attract anybody? But if you want to do this, then I feel like I owe it to you to at least explain it in a way where you understand the opportunity enough to ask questions. And we can certainly help you with anything that you have as it relates to those questions. So again, I owe it to you to at least show you how easy it can be to create passive income through EXP's business model. You don't ever have to attract an agent if you don't want to, but imagine what it would be like if to be getting paid every month, whether you sold a house or not. I think everybody's goal should be that. If maybe it's not, and this is something you're not interested in, that's cool too, but I don't know why you wouldn't do it. So that's it. Basically, I wanted to show you the model, show you why it exists, why every real estate brokerage is copying what we're doing. They're seeing the growth, and they're seeing how well this company is done. And then in the meanwhile, EXP is really helping people become financially free and build legacy wealth over here at EXP, as well as the top agents in the world are all selling real estate here. So it's the best place to be. Hopefully this helped answer some questions. I'm happy to jump on a call anytime. I mean that. People think I'm busy for some reason. I'm not that busy. I've got plenty of extra time to answer questions and help with anything. But if that's something that you're interested in getting, I always say, show me your 5 closest friends, I'll tell you your future. When you partner with the right people that have systems and processes the way we do, the opportunity is not the same as anything else that's out there. So just looking forward to hopefully having you come aboard. And like we always say at Honey Badger Nation, we will see you at the top.